everyone, and welcome to the November meeting of the Wilmot Township Committee of Adjustment. Before we begin, I would ask Mr. Miller if he would read the territorial acknowledgement.
We have gathered in Wilmot Township on the traditional territory of the Neutral, Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Mississauga peoples. We also want to acknowledge the importance of the Dish with One Spoon Covenant, a peace agreement made between Indigenous nations before the Europeans arrived. It characterizes our collective responsibility to each other and Mother Earth. We should take only what we need, leave enough for others, and keep the dish clean. By acknowledging this covenant and the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples, we are reminded of our important connection to this land where we live, learn, and work together as a community.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miller. I'd like to introduce members of our committee. We have Mr. Miller, Mr. Bowman, and Ms. Kaler. As well with us this evening, we have our Secretary-Treasurer, Mr. Andrew Martin, who is the Township Planner and the Economic Development Officer, as well as the Township Planner, Mr. Cameron Miller, who will be introducing the applications for this evening. My name is Wayne Roth. We are an independent body appointed by Wilmot Township Council, and we have the power to make minor changes to existing zoning regulations, as well as to approve some changes to existing non-conforming uses and to give consent. Each applicant will be notified in writing of the decision of this committee within 10 days, and with that decision will be instructions on how it can be appealed. Any decision made by this committee can be appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal, who will then hold a meeting and make a final and binding decision. Only the applicant and certain prescribed public agencies can appeal this committee's decision. If the decision on the minor variance or consent is not appealed, it will become final and binding within 20 days from the date of this meeting. As for the format of this meeting, we will have Mr. Miller introduce each application. The applicant will then have an opportunity to come forward and add any additional information if they choose to do so. Following that, anyone else in the audience will have the opportunity to speak for or against the application. We will then open it up to members of committee who can either question the applicant or raise concerns or have any other questions answered. And then the committee will make a final decision. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest this evening from members of the committee? Seeing none, thank you very much. Mr. Miller, would you introduce the application, please?
Yes, thank you, Chair Roth. The first application is consent B0623 concerning a property on Beck Street in Baden. So this application is proposing to sever lands that are currently owned by CN Railway to the adjoining lands, which are owned by Pistel Land Corporation, municipally known as 72 Beck Street. So the lands that are proposed to be severed and conveyed as a lot addition to what's known municipally as 72 Beck Street are again currently owned by CN Rail, and they total an approximate area of about a little under 400 square meters. So 72 Beck Street is currently operating as an industrial operation, and the lands that are proposed to be added were for a former rail spur line. And so that spur line serviced a grain elevator located on the south side of Beck Street. And in the last several years, the spur line has been removed because the grain elevator is no longer functional. So as a result, the land is no longer needed, and that spur line no longer serves a useful purpose anymore. So obviously it's been removed. And so that land is just remnant land and no longer serves a useful purpose to CN. And so it's their intention to add it and convey it to the abutting industrial property, 72 Beck Street. In circulating the application, no comments or concerns were received, and staff are recommending approval of the consent.
Thank you very much. Does the applicant wish to address the committee?
I see the consultant is attending. If they want to use, if they wish to speak at the meeting, if they want to use the raise hand option, then we can join them. Okay, I'll join Mr. Aston right now.
No. Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. I'm here this evening with Randy Coulombe from Pestel. And just thanks for the opportunity to speak. We really just wanted to take this moment to thank staff for their support in the application and appreciate the presentation by Mr. Miller. We're here this evening in support of the staff recommendation and the conditions of approval. We have no concerns. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, but thanks again for the opportunity to speak, and we request that you approve the staff recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much. I am assuming there's no one else from the public that is registered. Thank you. Members of committee, any comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, I would ask then that someone bring forth the motion to approve. Moved by Mr. Bowman, seconded by Ms. Kaler, that the motion be approved. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comments, sir. We appreciate your attendance.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, that is the only application we need to deal with this evening. We do need to approve the minutes of our last meeting, and can I have a motion to that effect? Moved by Mr. Miller, seconded by Ms. Kaler. Any comments or questions? If not, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. This meeting is now adjourned.